One of the pieces of analysis that Digital Public did for us was to look at channel preference across different portions of the population. And what we found was that there is a growing number of people that see using things like instant messaging, using the internet as being one of the ways in which they communicate with each other, and they would like to communicate with the health services. So we felt that in order to keep pace with what's going on in society, we needed to put new channels of communication at the heart of what we do. The emergency contraceptive web chat service is about giving the opportunity to have a web chat with a trained health information advisor who will be able to give them advice and reassurance on what they should do next in relation to their emergency contraceptive needs.
You are actually talking to young people and advising young people who normally wouldn't get any advice because they would be too shy and too embarrassed to come forward with the question.
The main difference you find is that people find it easier to tell you things where you're not on the phone. It's quite difficult when you're actually talking live to someone for them to tell you sort of details that you might need that might be a bit embarrassing. They might not necessarily want anyone hearing their conversations. They certainly don't want anyone checking any itemised bills. But one of the main groups I've found that we have covered that generally might not phone is people who are at work. They just need some advice. They haven't got time to come away from their desk and make a private conversation. You can just give them everything they need to know there and then.
So we made this service available on our own website and also on the website of the University of Warwick and on a social networking site on Bebo. And what we had was the ability for people to read information about emergency contraceptive issues and then request a web chat with one of our advisors.
Personally, it's made my working life a bit more like my home life on computer-wise, because I'm used to using computers and MSN, you know, all the sort of chat rooms and things like that. I find it much easier to say, you know, give me a second, I'm just checking something out. And then they seem to be much more happy to wait while you find out what they need to know than constantly having to reassure callers that, you know, you're still here, you're still doing it, or offer to phone them back. They seem to have more time online than they do on the phone. I think for a service like ours, the main body of what we actually do could be translated to a web-based chat.
The young people that use the services now are going to grow into old people who will still be using the services and are obviously much improved in the future. So yes, it's the way to go.
I think what Digital Public brings is experience of having worked in the new media environment with other government organisations, that they are able to deliver change through working with our team rather than doing it themselves. And it's not about producing reports of strategies of what you should do, it's actually around getting their hands dirty and getting it delivered in partnership with us. And that's how we've been very impressed with the way in which Digital Public have worked with us.